Good morning, students. Today I am going to continue with the chapter power sharing, and the topic is forms of power sharing. Now, these forms of power sharing in a democratic country are: first one is the power is shared among different organs of the government, that is the legislature, executive, and the judiciary. It is also known as horizontal division of power, because no organ can exercise unlimited power and each organ checks the other, and this results in the balance of power among various institutions, and that's why this arrangement of form of power sharing is known as checks and balance. Then, for example, the judges in country in India are appointed by the executives, but once they are appointed, these judges check the working of the executives and the laws made by the legislature, so that every organ is not independent, rather they can check each other's. Next is the power sharing among governments at the different levels. For example, here for the whole country we are having a general government, that is for the entire country, and the government at the regional level, and is usually called the federal government, that is the federal form of the government. And this division of power involves from higher to the lower levels of the government, and this arrangement is known as vertical division of power. So, but this division of power among different levels from higher to lower, it does not exist in all the countries of the world. For example, in the Belgium, people have accepted this division of power, but it was not in Sri Lanka. And in our country, India also, we are having, that is the different levels. For the whole nation, we are having that is central government for the entire country, known as union government, as well as national government. And then we are having at the state level, that is called the state governments. And at the lower level, we are having that the Panchayati Raj system, that is called the Gram Panchayat. In the rural areas, Block Smiti and Jila Parishad. And in the urban areas, we are having municipalities and the municipal corporations. Next form of power sharing is among different social groups. Now, these different social groups, they also form the public opinion, and their view in the democratic country is respected. And these are based on the religion, that is called religious, as well as on the language, known as linguistic groups. For example, in Belgium, that is known as a community government, means other than the central and the state government, we are having a government known as the community government, and people from different community, French, German and Dutch, they can protect the culture, and they can promote language of their own. Another example is the reserved constituencies in assembly and in the parliament, that is in our country. As you know very well, in the Constitution of India, it is their reserved constituencies for the weaker section of the society, that is the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, for the women, other backward classes, so that they should not feel neglected and they should not feel alienated themselves from the other sections of the society, and they can play active role in the functioning of the government. And next form of power sharing is among the political parties. Now, what in a democracy, what happens? These political parties, there is a competition among them in the elections, and these parties, different parties, they come with their different ideologies, and they form alliances or front or coalition government, and then they share the power among themselves. For example, you know about that is the National Democratic Alliances and UPA, United Progressive Alliances. Once they come in power, they share among those party members, those they make an alliance. Next is the sharing of power, pressure groups, interest groups and the movements. Now, what are these? These interest groups, such as traders, businessmen, farmers, industrialists and industrial workers, they all will have a share in the governmental power, either through participation in the governmental committees or bringing influence on the decision making process. And these are the organizations formed when people with common interest, occupations, or interest come together in order to achieve a common objective. Now, these pressure groups, interest groups, what happens? Actually, unlike the political parties, their aim is not to contest the elections, but their opinion, their role then it affects the public opinion in the country. Sometimes these pressure groups and the movements, they lead to the creation of the political parties. For example, in the Assam, when the students, they started a movement against the foreigners, it led to the beginning of that is creation of Assam Gana Parishad. And another example, in the year 1930s and 1940s, the movements led to the formation of DMK and AIA DMK in the Tamil Nadu. So we can say, what is these pressure groups and the interest groups? They work for their people and they influence. For example, many movements in the country are there: Narmada Bachao Andolan, then anti-liquor movement, women's movement, and environmental movement, etc. What they do, they encourage the people to form the opinion, and once the opinion is formed in a democracy, people are welcome to debate. These debate affect the policies of the government and affect them in this way, give them the chance to rethink their decision and to change their policies. Because in a democracy, the political power directly come from the rulers. And who are the rulers? The people. People are the ruler themselves, because they rule themselves through different political institutions. So the people opinion is being respected in a democracy. Thank you.